The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
It's time for the Friday Night Spotlight on Ripper Radio.
All right, it's time for the Friday Night Spotlight. And this Friday Night Spotlight edition, we have Richie Randall from GRAVEHUFFER. Welcome to the program.
Thanks, Brian. Glad to be here tonight.
I'd like to start off with like a brief history of the band. How'd you guys get your start and whatnot?
Okay. Well, it started out, I would say, I'll just kind of go back to 1997 when the drummer, myself, and the bass player of GRAVEHUFFER were in a anarcho-punk, crust-punk, whatever you want to call it, band called Initial Detonation. And we also had another vocalist, actually a male-female vocalist, and another guitarist. And so we've been playing together, the core three instrumentalists of this band, since the late 90s. And so we did that till about 2000, 2001, released a couple 7-inches vinyls. I think they had a demo tape before I joined the band. And then we broke up about 2001. So it was about a 4 or 5 year thing where we were playing together and writing songs. And so we had already had a chemistry going before we did the GRAVEHUFFER thing in 2008. And excuse me, so around 2008 is when they decided, Mike and Larry, Mike our bass player, Larry our drummer, decided to start playing like live material again, because prior to that they'd just done studio stuff, different experimental projects. And so when they decided to start playing live gigs again, this was probably 2006 maybe, Mike, our bass player, was actually playing guitar, and Larry was playing drums, and then our current singer, James, was singing, and then they had a different bass player. They went by the name of Ether Bunny, and they did that for about 2 years. They got rid of that old bass player. Mike went back to bass, and then they gave me a call and asked if I'd be interested in jamming with them, and I was like, yeah, man, I've been itching to play for years now. So that was summer of 2008. And we initially started, they showed me some of the Ether Bunny tunes, and then we just started writing our own stuff, and kind of started from there. I don't know how far you want me to go, but we started as the name of Crom, and we did that until 2011, and we released a CD in 2009, I believe. It's called Chaotic Evil, under the Crom name. We changed the name to GRAVEHUFFER in early 2012 because we were getting confused with other bands by the name of Crom. There was one in Italy, one in Indiana, I believe, and there's a few others that spelled it with a C, which is honestly how it's supposed to be spelled, because it's, I don't know if you're familiar with Conan the Barbarian, but his god is Crom, and that's where we that's where we lifted that name. So yeah. We're basically the same band as Crom, and just changed the name. We still play all the old Crom stuff. And but yeah, GRAVEHUFFER, I guess, initially, and it started really in 2008, but the name didn't get introduced till 2012. And then we basically we were gonna record an EP, and we had 6 songs, 4 songs that we wrote in late 2011, and we had the first 4 songs of Gravehuffer's first official album, Blast Music. Songs. One was a cover of the Ramones' Commando, and then the other song was an Initial Detonation song off the Shepherd. And then the rest of the CD, we reintroduced that. Since we're the same band that we just changed names, we thought, well, we're going to be playing these songs, so they're, even though they were released under the Crom name, it's still us. So to us, Gravehuffer. So that's what we did. A long album, songs in 50 some odd minutes, which is something we probably will in, but we're more of the album guys. So anyway, newest album that was recorded in 2015, 2016, just off and on, and that just came out in March of this year. It's called Your Fault, and the impaired recording on CD and cassette. Big news regarding the vinyl release of that, and but that's coming up. Anyway, answer to that question.
Yeah, I'm having a little bit of trouble with your mic. It's going in and out. You might want to check that real quick.
Is it okay? Sure.
Can you still hear me? Technical difficulties on his end. While we wait for his mic to come back on, let's go ahead and play a song from Gravehuffer. This is Kill for Sport. And then hopefully we'll have things worked out and he'll be back on with us here in a few. Thanks.
Die! the city bleed. Cut through the flesh, punching the vein. Watch them bleed out, enjoy the best you be. They twist to death, they bring you life. You cannot stop until it's killing time.
All right, we're back. Hopefully we got all the technical issues solved. So where did you come up with the name of GRAVEHUFFER?
Well, what it was a friend of ours. He goes by the name of Dozer, real good friend of ours, and he was going to use that name for a psychobilly band he was starting. And he ended up just not starting the band and basically not playing music anymore and selling his gear and stuff. And so we'd heard that name floating around from him and a couple of guys that were going to be in the band, and we're like, man, that name is just awesome. It's really cool. So when we were going to change the name in 2011, late 2011, we asked Dozer if we could use the name since he wasn't doing music anymore. And he's like, yeah, man. Yeah. As long as you give me free GRAVEHUFFER merch for life. So we're like, all right, man. So, we've given him some shirts and stuff like that, So, but yeah, he came up with that name, and we just thought it sounded cool. There's no real awesome story behind it or anything, but I guess now that we have the song GRAVEHUFFER, it's kind of taken on a life of its own. So, because now it's a song, there's a character, in the song, and James, our singer, writes all the lyrics, and so he explains in detail what the GRAVEHUFFER does and all that. It's fun and tongue in cheek. We're not like all super like serious about it, so we just wanted, it's fun. That's why we do this. But so yeah, no huge explanation there. But and another reason why we did name the song GRAVEHUFFER is because we thought it'd be cool to have a song with the band name, kind of like Black Sabbath does, or Iron Maiden, or all the awesome bands have songs with their band name. So we just thought it'd be kind of fun and kind of cool. That's about it on that. So
yeah, that's cool. What are your biggest influences on your guitar playing, or even the band influenced of the style you guys use?
As far as guitar playing myself, I'll start with my parents named me Richie after Richie Blackmore, so he's a big influence. Deep Purple and Rainbow and all the stuff he's done. I'm not really a lead. I do like the way he arranges things and the notes that he plays. So I into Tony Iommi, Black Sabbath. I'm a riff guy, so I love his riffs. He's written pretty much everything that's out there. Judas Priest, really pick up a guitar. I remember flipping through my dad's records when I was 5 or 6 years old and seeing the cover of Unleashed in the East and KK Downing's. That man, that is badass. That's what I want to do. And so that was kind of impetus for me wanting to play guitar. James Hetfield from Metallica, I love his rhythm playing. I mean, it's tight, it's articulate, and it's fast, and he just writes awesome riffs. He's honing me on speed. Morbid Angel, Trey from Morbid Angel, I love his stuff. I could go on about influences. The rest band, experimental music, and he's into Discharge, Nausea, Mob 47, all these it's he's really into the underground stuff. He was into Cliff Burton too, Metallica, Slayer. We're into that. All of us are into Slayer, and then even dark, like more underground stuff as well, like Creator. Our singer, he's into kind of the crazy, like G.G. Allen punk and stuff like that, just kind of a really off the wall stuff. And then he's really on a Mastodon kick right now. Our drummer Larry, he's into the old punk stuff too. He likes the Clash and stuff like that. But he also likes James Brown because he's really into kick-ass rhythm drum players. He likes, everybody likes Jimi Hendrix. We kind of like the older stuff, I guess. So, because we're all, early to mid 40s, so we're into that late 70s, early 80s scene. A lot of it, and if it's good, we like it, and a lot of it creeps into what we write. So, there you have it.
I can definitely sense a little bit of the early earache record, like grindcore out of England stuff influence on your music too.
Definitely.
Especially like Kill for Sport, that reminds me of Entombed a lot.
Oh, another DJ from another station said that same thing. He goes, man, this song sounds like Entombed. I was like, and that's so weird because I was not thinking that at all.
Yep.
But that's what's cool about it. It's just, your influences, they come out when whether you're even thinking about it or not, that's there. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like probably off the Wolverine Blues album. There's a lot of similar type riff patterns on that album, like in that song.
Oh yeah, just it's got that swing to it. So
yeah, got kind of a crunch.
Yeah, I can see that.
Crunch.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're cool guys. I actually did security for those guys back in the early 90s, and they like to party.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Heard.
Cool. We'll go ahead and play another song by you guys. This is Shut Up and Skate. Like to say anything about this song, or any story?
Yeah, sure. Actually, this was a song Mike wrote, our bass player. He pretty much wrote this on bass. And he texted me one day. He's like, man, I got this really weird thing I wrote for bass. He goes, I don't even know if it's going to be cool for a Gravehuffer or not, but, you want to listen to it. So I listened to it, and he had the whole complete song written. And I was like, man, that is weird. It's kind of cool. It's not something like we would normally play. And so we got together, and he showed us the part, and so the way we do things is either one of us comes up with an idea, or when we're rehearsing for a show or whatever, we'll just jam on something, or somebody will be screwing around, like, what's that? Oh, I'm just messing around, and so we'll build on that. But Skate was totally, I didn't write the lyrics, but he's like, I want to call this song Shut Up and Skate. Here's the music that I've got written so far. Let's see what we can do with it. And it turned into this really cool song. So, the verses and choruses were pretty much the same to what he put down. I didn't change it a whole lot. We just did some kind of different melodies. But the last part with the 2-guitar harmony over that was actually our drummer's idea. He's like, why don't you write some harmony for that? I was like, oh, okay. But it's a kind of it was put together slightly differently than all. Everybody was contributing ideas, which is sometimes that makes for the best stuff too. So, and then we also have a video for that song, and it features all local Joplin, Missouri skaters. And we just pieced together a bunch of friends, and it turned out really cool. You can just Google Gravehuffer Shut Up and Skate on YouTube, and you'll see it. And it, like I said, it features local skaters, and we're proud of that. So there's the story for Shut Up and Skate.
All right, this is Shut Up and Skate by Gravehuffer, coming to you right now.
We
And we're back with Richie from GRAVEHUFFER. So you recently got a promotional deal with a guitar company. You want to talk about that a little bit?
What's that?
You recently had signed.
Sorry, it broke
up on you. You recently signed a promotional deal with a guitar company. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Oh yeah, sure. That's Killer Bee Guitars, and that was through a friend of mine in a band called Four Skulls, and his name's Mick, and he's endorsed by them as well. And I've actually met since this thing. I've met a whole bunch of other guys, and so it's been really awesome. And so I got hooked up with Killer Bee through him, and I actually spoke with, his name's Kevin, the guy he's a one-man show. He hand makes these guitars. And I spoke with him yesterday about what I wanted and specs wise and shape and all that. And I basically just emailed the company, or I think they had maybe a form you completed or on their website possibly. I can't exactly remember. And said, hey, I'd love to be a part of the family, and so he shot me an email back, and he's like, yeah, that'd be great, anybody that shows interest, we talk to them. So I can't, of course, explain details like the contract, but it is it's not like free stuff. A lot of people think endorsements, they just give you free stuff. None of the endorsements I have are that way. You get a discount on everything. Because I'm also endorsed with Von York Strings and Sinister Guitar Picks, and I've gotten all these endorsements just in the last week or two. They all just kind of happened. But I've also inquired about them. So the thing I think is cool about it is I don't mind paying for the stuff. I don't just I'm not out there touring at the moment, so I don't expect them to give me stuff. So I'll pay for it and then help spread the word for them, and then they help spread the word for us, and so that's what's really cool about this deal. So on the back, it's going to be kind of a I think they've only done one other time on a bass. And it's going to be like a black, but like a translucent black where you can still see the wood grain through it. And it's going to be more like the Jackson V, where it's offset a little bit, but not quite as drastic. And then there's going to be like a half circle shape kind of behind the bridge. But it was really cool getting to talk to Kevin yesterday about how, everything I wanted on the guitar. And it's like, I've dreamed about stuff like this, having my own custom guitar built, and getting it at a decent price. I'm not having to pay several $1,000s for a custom guitar. I'm getting it for less than what I've paid for any of my guitars. So it's pretty cool. And he's going to be starting on it within the next week or two. And I should get it in about a month or two. So yeah, Killer Bee Guitars. I can't shut up about it. I'm so excited. So
I don't blame you there.
There's someone in there, and they're going to put the shape. It's just amazing. So I'm but Killer Bee Guitars, yes.
That's kind of a cool name for a guitar company. It's not something you normally, but kind of a twist like a bee horror or something.
Yeah. It works.
Getting back to how your writing style is, so basically you do like a jamming session, or you guys write. You got any new stuff you're going to be writing on here soon, or any future plans for a new EP coming out?
Yeah. Actually, I was just starting to that when I was talking. What we're doing right now is we're writing two new songs, and pardon me, one of is going to have to play in Carcass. And I got to meet him on Facebook through a DJ on another station, and he suggested I send him a friend request. I'm like, okay, so I did, and we started talking, and one day on Facebook we were talking about gear or something like that. And talking about doing a guest guitar solo on somebody's album, and half jokingly I asked him, would you do a solo on my band's album? He said, yeah, I'd give it a go, mate. And I was like, really? He goes, oh, of course. And this was probably 4 or 5 months ago, and so we had the opportunity to record these 2 new systems, hoping he wouldn't forget about it. And he's like, oh yeah, he goes, I'm excited. And he goes, let me know, give me a deadline and everything. And he's excited about it, to the point where he posted on his own Facebook, he's doing a guitar solo on Gravehuffer's new release. So we're super excited about it. And then leading into vinyl exclusive bonus tracks for the Your Fault album that we just released a couple months ago. This is going to be put out through a record company called Bluntface Records. And probably within the next month, I would say, they're going to start a pre-order crowdfunding hybrid campaign. I should be getting a contract to get that going like any day now. And so we should be getting that going soon. And it's hopefully going to come out at the end of the year on vinyl. So that's our immediate plans for a new release. And we've already written 2 other songs to go on whatever else we're going to plan for. So yeah, we're in writing mode, full on. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. Like our drummer wrote a song one day last week, and it's like way different than anything we would do, but it still somehow fits. and then our bass player, me and him have been getting together and just writing stuff. And we wrote 3 songs like within the span of a couple of weeks. So it's super Gravehuffer, but it's going in different directions, and it's still keeping us excited about wanting to play music. So I couldn't be happier right now.
Good deal. I mean, having a guest spot from someone that famous, that's pretty cool. Yeah,
that's really awesome.
Yeah, somebody that's at that level that wants to do something for the little guy, that's not something you hear every day.
Right, yeah. And so, I mean, it's like pretty awesome, and like his new band Monstrance is going to be playing like some shows here coming up, and I think they're maybe playing some like big festivals and stuff, and it's like pretty cool, He's going to be playing a guitar solo on one of our albums, and it's just somebody that you just happen to talk to on Facebook, but he's such a humble guy. He said he was humbled and flattered that we even asked him. So that gives you the kind of idea of the personality of Carlo. So, just because they're in a big band, just, some guys have a good level head on their shoulders, and he's definitely one of them.
Yeah, they always say never meet your idols, because sometimes you're disappointed. But then again, there's those few out there that make up for that.
There is, definitely.
Yeah, I've met a lot of bands and a lot of people you consider famous, and some of them are cool, and some of them it's just like, man, I wish I would have never met that dude.
Right? Yeah. I haven't had a whole lot of that. Most of my I met all of Judas Priest one time actually, and were amazingly polite and professional and just very humbling, and they talked to us for 10 or 15 minutes and took pictures, and they were super cool.
I've met like Manowar, Danzig, and actually one of the shows I did work for was Napalm Death, and me and the guitar player hit it off pretty cool, and did some funny stuff with him. and we were like talking
Nice.
for a while. So it's I took him to the store so they can get something to eat for the bus. And first thing out of his mouth is
Was it Mitch?
It was Jesse, original one of the older guitar players.
Oh, Jesse. Yeah. Oh, rest in peace, Jesse.
Yeah, I know.
Man,
it's sad. But so he goes. First thing out of his mouth is don't let me go down the liquor aisle because I'll end up buying nothing but alcohol instead of food. So
hey, at least he was honest.
I kept him away from it for a while, and then we got up to the register, and I turned around and he was gone. I'm like, I looked at the roadies that were with us and was like, "Where'd Jesse go?" And they're like, "I don't know." And then he come walking up carrying 4 bottles of Mad Dog 2020 and a pack of
holy
I'm
crap!
set for the night, guys. And I was like,
"Oh
really?
my goodness!"
You get free alcohol and a case of beer to take with you, and you're buying Mad Dog? What the hell? He goes, they don't have this in England.
Right. That's hilarious.
Yeah. He paid for that, man. I guess. He goes, I should have listened to you. I was like, yeah.
Right, yeah. Come on, man. I'm trying to keep it cool.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the guys on that bus.
Oh, man. I imagine.
Mad Dog and hot dogs. Nah. No thanks.
Rough.
All right, I think we'll go ahead and play another song from you guys. This is Worms of God. You want to talk a little bit about this one?
Yeah, this is it's another Mike song. It's one of those things where it's another one of those, it's kind of different for us. And it's got some kind of weird like vocal parts and stuff in it where I sing on it and James sings on it, and then it's kind of like syncopated and almost mechanical in a way. James wrote all the lyrics for that one and came up with the idea. He was born in a very strict religious household, and it's definitely affected like his thought process. And we've got quite a few songs that are very staunch in their opposing views of religion. So yeah, it's kind of one of those hotbed issues, you know. So people, it's one of those things, you know. You don't talk politics or religion because it's a thing where it gets people fired up. And James is one of those guys, and he's mellow and kind of nutty, but he's kind of a deep guy, if you know. So. But anyway, yeah, that's Worms of God. There's a guitar solo on that song, the only one on the album, and I didn't play it. A friend of ours played it, named Jason Wofford, and terrific guitar player. He doesn't live around here anymore. He lives in Arizona, or I'm sorry, New Mexico, Albuquerque. And so I was like, man, it'd be cool to put a guitar solo in this one little spot. And I was like, but I don't want to do it. And they're like, huh? I was like, man, I want like Jason Wofford to do it, you know. And so Jason just laid down this killer solo and like played some wicked stuff. So just in the span of like 10 seconds that he put together, like it has a beginning, a middle, an end, you know. It's just amazing. But and they can see even cooler is I don't know if Jason would even want me to mention, but he's he's quadriplegic, and I mean he can play guitar and he can drive and stuff, but he's confined to a wheelchair, and I think it's badass that he can rip a guitar like that and you know still get around and stuff. You know, just because he has issues and disabilities, he can still kick ass. So we love you, Jason, and glad you did that for us.
All right, this is Worms of God. It's coming right now.
Everything
All right, we're back with Richie from GRAVEHUFFER. Is any of the more announcements you'd like to make real quick? Or?
Well, I think we've pretty much covered everything we got going on at the moment with the endorsements and the vinyl release and the special guest stuff. We don't really have any live shows booked at the moment, so we're going to wait. I'm sorry? Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Have you got like any websites you'd like to bring across to the people out there might be listening tonight to get a hold of your stuff for albums and whatnot?
Yeah. We've got we do Bandcamp like pretty much most other bands. It's gravehuffer.bandcamp.com, and we've got a pretty decent amount of merch on there. We've got the shirts we have. We're a little low on stock. I think all we have right now are large, and I think a medium possibly, or maybe a small. I can't remember. The ink glows in the dark on them. It's pretty cool. I think we're only charging $10. We got CDs. We got cassette tapes of the new album, and we got CDs of our first album. We got a 4-way split we put out on Nihilist Records. It's us, a band called Ulcer, another band called Mutilation Ritual, and another band called Insecticide. And that's a 7-inch vinyl. I think we're only doing like $5 on it too. We've got stickers. We've got patches now. We've got glow-in-the-dark guitar picks. We have a bunch of these, but I only got. Gosh, I think that may be all the merch. But yeah, all the physical copies of all of our music comes with a digital download. And then as far as digital stuff, we're on all the popular like iTunes and Amazon and stuff like that. Spotify, we're on all that stuff. So yeah, you can. On as many different sites as we can, but the Bandcamp is the main page for all of our merchandise.
Cool. We're going to go ahead and play another song from you guys. This is Book of Enoch. You want to talk about this one a little bit?
Yeah, Book of Enoch was... that song's been around for quite a while, and that was when we were kind of transitioning from the Crom to the Gravehuffer era, and excuse me, and it's another... It's kind of a slower song for us, although it does speed up toward the end and get kind of crazy. That was one of those songs where we were just jamming in the band room one day, and one of the guys, I think it may have been Mike's, like, "Hey, let's write something that sounds like Godflesh." And so that's kind of how it happened, and then it evolved into Book of Enoch. And so I think it was the first time we ever tried like clean guitars and stuff like that, and like something kind of slow and sludgy, and we like to do both slow and fast stuff. We like dynamics, and that song's got a lot of it. So as far as lyrical content, it's literally about the Book of Enoch, which I believe scrolls. I'm not sure on that. One of those things where that's supposedly like biblical text, but it's not canon or anything, and there's some pretty and James, our singer, is it was something he's really interested in writing about. So I think our YouTube page has a very crappy lyric video we did for it, but I mean it's pretty cool. I mean it's very cheap, and but the music's there and the lyrics are on there, and with some pictures I took from Google Images, and so you can check that out. But yeah, Book of Enoch. It's a little different for us, but it's a cool song. I like it.
All right, this is Book of Enoch from Gravehuffer. back with GRAVEHUFFER. So what do you think about the music scene there in Missouri? If you'd like to elaborate a little bit.
Yeah. The scene around here is pretty interesting, and I'll just preface it with how I started and how my friends started in the scene. And that was like early 90s, and it was mainly playing skate parks and people's houses and backyards and basements and stuff. And there were the bar scene was a thing then too, but it was mainly like cover bands. So there wasn't really, the local bands just weren't playing those kind of venues. They were playing, friends' houses and the skate parks and things like that. There just wasn't really a so-called venue for music. We made it work, and it was awesome because there were hundreds of kids that would come to these shows. And music at the time, it was a lot of the crust punk and pop punk and ska and that kind of stuff. And so that was probably late 80s even up until late 90s, early 2000s. And then the skate parks kind of went by the wayside. A couple of other all ages venues tried to get going, and they just never could really stay afloat. And then a friend of we were in a band with them in the late 90s called a thing called Blackthorn Pizza and Pub. And so he did that in 2007, I believe. I may be wrong on that, but somewhere around there. It's going, and it's plus just them is bands come through, they get fed, they get all the door, and so time we've ever played there, it's always been a real one-man band. They even have a smaller stage on the other side of the bar, so it's a pretty neat place. There still are a couple all ages venues. One is Solace Music. And story townhouse. It's got this huge basement. He's put like carpet and carpet padding just up on the walls and the ceilings and the floors, and so it like really sounds good in there, nice and dead. He built a stage in there, and he's got lights out the ass, and he's got a pentagram he made out of Christmas lights, and it's just a neat place. And all his shows are free, and it's just a fun place to play. There's usually 30 or 50 kids every time you play there, and even though you don't get paid, bring merch. Those kids buy the shit out of merch, man. I mean, we'll make like $100 or more selling T-shirts and CDs, and man, it's just awesome. So, it's a pretty interesting scene, I gotta say. So, I do enjoy it very much.
Yeah, that's definitely a different kind of thing than most people are used to. It's usually the bar scene, and luckily if you find a bar that'll let people in under 21, but doesn't happen very often, unless it's a big national act or something like that. They'll drop that. But
right,
that's pretty cool. We're going to go ahead and play another song by you guys. This is Lucifer's Crowned. You got anything to say about this one?
Yeah, Lucifer's Crown was that was one that I brought in, and I think that may have been only the second or third song I helped write, and I actually wrote that on acoustic guitar, believe it or not. And recorded it on, I don't even know what the hell I recorded it on, probably a cassette. And I showed it to the guys. And they're like, man, this is pretty cool. It kind of sounds like Slayer. So, I mean, I had the whole arrangement and everything. And I plugged into my amp, and they got behind their instruments, and we banged it out real quick. And it's kind of hard to recollect because, man, that was like in 2008 when that was written. So, hell, that's been almost ago. Lyrical content, man, you know what? I'm not 100% sure on that. I think I think it may have to do with like Nazi Germany, if I'm not mistaken. Some kind of crackpot belief that they had that the jewel in Lucifer's crown that would like help them in their fight or something crazy like that. So yeah, kind of a really oddball Nazi story. Not that we're Nazi sympathizers or anything like that, you know, but some of the crazy stuff that history has, you know, brought to us makes for interesting lyrical content for sure. It's just stories.
Yeah. You don't need nobody protesting or coming after you for it. So.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Well, this is Lucifer's Crown from Gravehuffer. All right, we're back with GRAVEHUFFER. So what do you think about the difference between the music industry and back in the day when you first started and as it is today? Because it's a whole different world today.
You know, it really is. And the internet is really, that's the game changer, you know? I mean, that's really what changed everything. And, I mean, I haven't been playing music for a long, long time, like some, but the first, like, touring band I was in, you know, we were releasing stuff on like vinyl and cassette and stuff. And so, and then like when we booked our tours, we were on the phone calling people. We weren't like, you know, there really wasn't like Facebook or social media, or there really wasn't even email. So we're having to pick up the phone and call these places to book shows. And when we're on tour, we're like have the freaking Rand McNally Atlas out trying to figure out where our exits are. You know what I mean? And there wasn't like GPS and stuff like that, or you couldn't like, there wasn't cell phones. You know, you couldn't say, hey, I'm on Highway 61. What exit do I need to take, man? You know, we just had to have all that written down and planned out. And so it was just a different world. And, you know, communication has just really changed in just the last 10 or 15 years. Yeah. And so that's affected the way music is presented as well. So it's made things a lot easier for people like us to get our name out there. At the same time, it's made it a lot more saturated too, because there's more people like us that's putting their stuff out. So it's just a double-edged sword, I suppose. You still got to do like the old school way of promoting, and you know, you can't just post something, put it out there, and expect people to like it. You know, you've got to really get out there and let people know what you're about and that you're out there, and like, you know, throw your hands in and wave them around and say, hey, here. You got to get creative when you get people's attention. And it used to be magazines and reviews and stuff, you know, and it's awesome the internet can provide that. But like I said, at the same time, there's so many more avenues and more radio, more bands. It's just so much more out there now because of the internet. So I don't know. It's hard to say if it's an advantage or a disadvantage. It's just pros and cons, I suppose, just like the way it used to be. Still, I feel like we still got to work just as hard. I mean, just because the internet's out there and it's easier to get your stuff out there, you still have to work just as hard to get people's attention because there's so much more out there for people to see and hear. So, I kind of went off on a tangent there. But yeah, that's kind of my viewpoints on that.
Yeah, because like now the labels, they put out your album and then you're on your own pretty much for the most part. They may pick 20 bands on their label and push them and give them everything, and then the rest of you guys are just kind of out there. If you don't promote yourself, you're not going anywhere. And
that's exactly right.
It's sad on that direction, because it used to be everybody, you had to get a record contract if you're going to get anywhere outside of your town or your state. So the internet provides that.
Yeah.
You know, you can get out there and you can make a decent, you know, go at it with just the internet and no record label.
Right.
But a lot of the bands I talk to are all like, you know, I got a record deal, and you know, they give you your money and everyone thinks it's great, but then they don't realize you got to pay that money back from.
Oh yeah. It's a loan. It's a loan, man. You got to pay them back.
Yeah, there's a few companies out there that'll produce your album. They'll fund it, and then all they want is the royalties on their end, and that's a rarity nowadays. And it's almost better just to be by yourself and put it out on the internet.
Yep, that's for sure.
So you can get all the money and don't have to share it with nobody. But it's getting your word out, and that's why I kind of do this show.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
shows like mine.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why we do what we're doing. Yeah, so much.
All right, we're going to play one more song from you guys, and then maybe talk just a little bit more, and then we'll end this. So this is Destroyer of Worlds. You got anything you want to talk about this one?
That seems to be a song a lot of people like, and that's I can't say it's a hit or anything, but it seems like it's got a lot of like positive response. Let's put it that way. That was a song. That's kind of one of those ones where I had a lot of ideas for riffs, but I didn't have like the song ready, and so we kind of pieced that together at different band rehearsals and practices, and it's got. It was kind of different at the time too. We'd never written anything that kind of metal sounding before. Most of our other stuff was like definitely had more of like the punk thrash kind of thing, and this definitely has more of like a traditional like heavy metal kind of vibe to it in the music anyway. It's almost got kind of a melodic death metal kind of thing going on, and so I was happy we were able to sneak that style in there. So yeah, that's the music kind of, and lyrically it's about when the U.S. bombed Japan, and there was a guy by the name of Robert Oppenheimer, and he was instrumental in creating the technology for the first atomic bomb, and the song is kind of written through his eyes. I would guess, and at least that's the way James told it to us. So apparently when Robert Oppenheimer first saw the Trinity test bomb, which was I can't remember where exactly it was, somewhere in the southwest desert in the United States, they tested this bomb. And he said the first thing that came to him was a quote by Bhagavad Gita, and it was, I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. And so that really was something that I guess James had always been wanting to write a song about that. So he thought it fit the music, and that's kind of how it ended up. But we also have, that's another one of those songs where we have a video for, which is a little nicer than some of our other ones. And it's got like clips from the atomic bomb dropping, and it's got Godzilla clips. Kind of make it a little more not so just deadly serious. But our bass player is a huge Godzilla fan, and so Godzilla was spawned from atomic bomb, so that it made sense. But yeah, that's also on YouTube, and it's a lyric video. It's got the words to it, and the words are pretty powerful. And when I first read them, I got a lump in my, So, hello?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. You cut out for a second. All right, this is...
Okay.
Yeah, the internet tonight is not agreeing with me. So this is Destroyer of Worlds from GRAVEHUFFER.
Set ablaze 1 million suns. The flames of blinding light as of the standing night. And the lies reduce to smoldering ashes. The guilt of genocide, the man is bruised inside. It is mine to waste the torment unyielding. Blood is dead, blood of the innocent dancers. Let the say, sons and daughters of the burning.
Alright, we're back with GRAVEHUFFER. You got anything final like you want to say to your fans out there that may have tuned in tonight and like what might be coming up in the future from you guys? Are you there?
You kind of cut out on.
There we go. We're back. Like I was saying, you got anything?
Okay.
Anything final you want to say to anybody out there that might have tuned in tonight, and like future plans or what to look out for?
Yeah. Pretty much the release is hard and heavy right now. Blunt Face Records is going to put that out for us, and that's kind of the immediate goal. We've always wanted to put out a full-length 12-inch vinyl. You know, none of us have ever been on a. It's always been like our big main goal. So that's the thing we're most excited about right now. And after that, we'll be writing and recording for our next album. And who knows where that's going to lead us, but hopefully our relationship with Blunt Face Records and the few endorsement deals that we've got will help us, move forward in a positive direction. Killer Bee Guitars, Von York Strings, and Sinister Guitar Picks, I want to thank them. Blunt Face Records, I want to thank them. I want to thank everybody that's ever bought merchandise from us and supporting us. I want to thank all the radio stations that have played our music, have shared us around on social media, have interviewed us or reviewed, everybody that's ever reviewed our albums. We really appreciate all the support, and we couldn't even be close to what we're doing. The internet presence wouldn't even be near what we have if it weren't for all you guys out there that help spread the word for us by playing our stuff and reviewing our stuff and giving us positive feedback and negative feedback, any kind of feedback. We love it all, and we're thankful and glad to have you guys out there fighting for the little guys like us. So And at the same time, we like to spread the word about all the people that support us, all the internet radio, all the reviewers, and all the people that buy our merch. You know, we encourage them to post pictures and stuff and say, hey, these guys helped us out. So it's you scratch my back, I scratch yours, vice versa thing, you know. And I think that's really helped us networking wise. So as long as we're out here and able to do it, then we're going to be out there sharing our music with everybody and sharing our supporters with everybody. So we're thankful for all of you.
Yeah, you're welcome there. Thanks for coming on my show this evening, and hope all the best for you guys in the future. You know, I'll keep splitting your records, and hit me up anytime you need anything. We'll be here for you. So, once again, thanks for coming on.
Brian, I'm glad. I'm really happy with the chat tonight. Yeah, no problem.
All right, well, we're going to continue on with the show.
So many screams, so little time.